Let's try that instead. There wasn't any sound. We muted it on purpose for you, Daz, because we knew that you enjoy the engagement with us. Anyway, good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us. It's Wednesday evening. It's our usual time, 8 p.m. BST, and it's Rock Around the Clock, where we peel back the days and look at what news has been occurring over the last 7 days since we met last. Of course, over here, over there even, is the fair-faced Duncan from that Northern Irish shore. How are you, my friend? To the barbers. I was looking at your hair. Have you not had a haircut in the last 24 hours then? Something else? Well, you had a face elongation? What? I mean, what's this? What? There's no sound from you. Oh, great. Then I can fix this. Don't you worry, folks. You see, I just get the knee bone here, and I connect it to the leg bone, and then the leg bone's connected to the ankle bone there, and then I just connect this. This is the wrist bone. Say hello, Duncan. There, you see. I'm absolutely certain they can hear you now, because I can. That's good. I'm glad you did that, because I wondered where my show notes had gone, and I found them sat next to your camera. So perfect. Thank you very much. Yeah, exactly. So, no, there shouldn't be. Who said that? Yeah, but that was 30 seconds ago, mate. I mean, we've moved on, haven't we? It should be fine. I've got you full audio here. There's no other way of getting you in. Say hello, Rokk. Yeah, actually, they might be onto something there. You keep talking to me, and then I can establish where you've gone. Yeah, that's weird because I've got you full audio. Okay, what I will do in that case is I will. So look, there you are. There's you in your massive sizedness. I'll have a look and see if I can pull your audio in from here. There we go. See if that helps at all. Say hello, Rokk.
Hello, Rokk. How are you?
Right. Okay.
I'm off this little screen.
I'm perfect, and hopefully now everybody can hear you as well. So that should be good. I actually know, having done what I've just done, I now know how I could have fixed it the proper way. But I'm all for the hacks on the run.
Yep.
So hello everybody. We've done all the greetings and the thank yous, and hopefully now we've done our little running repairs as well, and you can hear my my co-host Duncan. So Duncan, shall we just crack on with the news from the last few days? Let's skip over to the old news screen. Hang on, exit stage left. Then we're back in again. All right. Well, Chris is still saying hello. Thanks for that, Chris. Let's start at the beginning. Drop us a like, subscribe. No dislikes, please. They make me depressed for days. If we go all the way back to last Thursday, Duncan.
If I can remember that far back.
You can remember that far back, I'm sure you can. We had a couple of things happen. One was that Kareem Jovian announced he'd be doing some Crowdplay. And more on that later, because that kind of dominated the next few days, didn't it? But we also, and people probably forgotten this, we also had an announcement that Spiritfarer, which I keep wanting to call Spitfarer for some reason, Spiritfarer is coming to Stadia soon. And that's, we'll pop it on over here.
Oh.
Rated T for tobacco.
Oh yeah, your T for tobacco. It's going to be and the art style's amazing. I like this sort of art style, the hand drawn sort of stuff. So it's going to be another game to give us a little something different to play on Stadia. I'm just watching it on the screen here at the same time.
I love the fact that you've got here. I'm assuming it's you. Spiritfarer is a cozy management game about dying.
Yeah,
Which, well, there's a set of words that you don't expect to see in a sentence.
that is the quote from the game itself. So there we go. So yeah, this game has got a lot of hype. I'm not gonna say a lot of hype. It's got a lot of excitement out there in the wider gaming public.
Right. Okay.
So it's going to be an interesting one to have on Stadia, and well, it may not be everybody's cup of tea, but variety is good. So that's what we're here for. It's as many different games as possible.
Yeah. We don't know. Presumably, it's not coming as a pro deal. Or we
I
don't. We don't know.
we don't know yet.
No, not at this stage. So then, the very next day, Friday, we had a couple of things. One was that hello Jem, Jem pointed out that they found some code in the old website saying there was going to be a free play day coming up, which we'll come on to later. You're going to hear that sentence a lot tonight. We also had Borderlands 2 cleared for Stadia, and Borderlands 3 celebrated their anniversary with, I think it was a new bit of DLC that dropped in, or an event.
They're doing weekly events for the next 6 weeks. There's different sort of weekly events. At this moment in time, we're in the EchoCast one, which means if you're playing it on Twitch, there's another Twitch feature here where you can actually integrate it into when you're playing it and when you're streaming it. So it's just a nice wee thing. And every week they're just doing something different. The next one changes again on Thursday coming up here. So it's well worth giving that a look. And we will touch on how you can give that a look later.
Well, yeah, and I was thinking, without giving too much away, this whole day was all like, hello, Jem, you must be psychic. There's a whole load of psychicness going on in the land of Jem. So, so that was your Friday. Then last week, funny enough, we didn't have a huge amount happen on the Saturday. And we didn't want that to happen, good old Google. But we did have, we had a few things happen this Saturday, just gone. We had achievements launch
on mobile.
On mobile. We had 3 months free of Stadia Pro announced for a Chromebook or all Chromebooks.
Okay, this is where we're getting all into technicalities and stuff here. Samsung have doing one by themselves, but you can actually get it on all Chromebooks as well, depending on what region you are. I'm not 100% sure if it's in the UK or not. My feeling it's not. I think it's just US at the moment, and that actually stacks on to your existing Pro membership. So if you've got if you're already in your subscription here, you put that on, you won't have to pay till October, November time. So that's
okay.
That's pretty good.
It's excellent. And Electronic Arts reconfirmed their commitment to Stadia.
Yeah, with EA, they had their earnings call, and the line was really, really crackly. So it was when they were doing it, and it kept on dropping off. So this actually came through when they actually put out their notes in full, and they're still the wording was they're integrating their games into Stadia.
Yeah,
so
integrating.
Yes, integrating instead of bringing. It's integrating.
Isn't that what the Borg do in Star Wars? Star Trek, even. I'm a Trekkie, honest. A Trekker.
Trekkie, that's what it is, not Trekker.
No, it's Trekker, isn't it? I mean, you genuinely are, aren't you? You've got the whole kit, the ears, the full Spock outfit, everything.
Yeah, I ran in Disney when I was doing the Star Wars races, so I dressed up as Spock from Star Trek.
Yes.
I did
You were the rebel. They were going, hang on, I don't remember him. What episode was he in?
Yeah, but it was really weird.
Yeah. Oh, I love a bit of Star Trek. So yeah, they were assimilating. They're going to assimilate Stadia into Electronic Arts games, which presumably means either one, there will be more and more games to come from EA, or two, there will be cross-platform or cross-play.
Yeah, but they're doing a big thing into cross-play. That was one of their main themes throughout their statement here, that they're going to be pushing that out to as many places as possible. So that is going to be a really big thing for Stadia in the short term anyway, as Stadia still builds up its user base.
Excellent, Spithers. And we had a surprise Crowdplay demo. So this was the big news of the week. I mean, for good and for bad.
Hmm.
But by and large, we'd heard, as we mentioned just now, that Kareem Jovian had announced that he was going to do a crowd play demo the following Monday, when everybody was getting a bit hot under the old collar. Why wasn't I asked? How come the wider community weren't involved, etc., etc. And then out of the blue on the Saturday came this young man, Juggernaut, who completely caught everybody by surprise. It turns out that he actually was the first to actually demo Crowdplay. Now I don't know if you watched. He was interviewed on the on Stadia Source show. I think it was last night actually, and really interesting interview. Yeah, he basically had been told or asked a week before would he be interested in getting involved, and sort of what, yeah, and it was all very kind of nonchalant. Before he knew it, yeah, here you go, you've been given special access, and on you go, and here's a handful of codes to give them out. It was very interesting, just another one of those rare glimpses into how Stadia works, which seems to be in a very kind of relaxed and chilled way. But a really good interview, actually, well worth watching on Stadia Source. So Crowdplay took place. We had, I know Eddie was involved. I know Avery had a game, and essentially, as we
Stadia
all,
There's load of people in the Stadia community. Stadia
yeah,
Revolution had it as well.
oh,
But
okay,
we have to shout out everybody if we
we
know one.
wouldn't, yeah,
But
wouldn't know where to stop, would we? Anyway, I
no,
didn't, and you didn't. That's all that you need to know. So
I
essentially,
tried
you
to.
you you went in, you pressed the little button to get into the queue. You won't see that here, but if you watch Eddie's video from this Monday evening when he played against Kareem Jovian, and also from Avery's video from last Saturday, you'll essentially see you press a little button, you get into a queue if you've got the game. If you don't have the game, then you've got to go and buy it. You watch yourself count down, you go into a lobby, you get rushed through all the various screens that you normally have to tick and accept and everything else. Before you know it, you're in a game. I found it quite, the thing that I found a little off-putting was that you well, before the game you're hearing the voice of the host, because he's streaming, so you've got this whole conversation going on and he's talking about the game, and then as a player you're suddenly in a lobby and all that sound's gone because you're in the game and it's quiet and you've just got the game. And I mean, I didn't play it, but I just felt that it would be nice in the future if they can integrate the audio from the stream into your gameplay, so you have that conversation still carrying on. Because you've got Juggernaut and all the other guys are going, yeah, great game, well done, oh man, that was a brilliant move, oh yeah, wow, but you're not hearing any of that, and it's only you kind of come out of it and then you go back to where you were. So that was an interesting thing, and it's demo, isn't it? It's a work in progress, but very interesting. What were your
Yeah.
thoughts on it, Doug?
Yep, I think it's exactly how I wanted it to sort of happen. Yeah, some of the stuff you've brought up there is exactly what maybe a bit of tweaking needs to be done so you can see what's going on. Maybe put it in their window so you can still see the comments, still hear the streamer talking. You may not be able to or speak to the streamer, but at least you'll be able to hear what he's saying, so you can maybe interact a bit more. But yeah, overall, this is exactly what I've been yapping on about for over a year now. Since Stadia was first announced, this is the feature which is going to put Stadia on the map. It is this, when you can see the interactivity with between streamers and people playing games, and be able just to click and play, and away you go, and you're into the game. It is going to be revolutionary. I think the reason why they chose maybe Mortal Kombat is they're just trying to work it in easier before they get into the big games. Like the one I'm interested to see it's going to work in, it isn't actually Death by Chocolate. It is going to be Super Bomberman.
Okay.
Because that's 64 players. So maybe they're going for the less numbers at the moment and just build up to that. But that could be the sleeper hit for Stadia going forward. Like what we've got now with the game on PlayStation, what has just the Fall Guys on PlayStation, which is just a big hit game. That this could be the hit game for Stadia in Super Bomberman, especially if it goes on as a pro deal.
Yeah, no, I agree. Lots of features to come. I mean, this was just the first one that we've seen rolled out. We know we've got a whole ton of more to arrive in the not too distant future. Then, on the very next day, we learned that through Twitter, in fact, that Stadia, of course, is going to be rolling out to more countries, but within the year, certainly before the end of the year. At least that was the announcement there, which is necessary, of course, because if nothing else, we also know that xCloud and the new Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, is it called Game Pass Ultimate, without the Xbox at the front, just the little logo, the potato, the jacket potato.
Yeah, what they're doing there is they're being a bit clever. Yeah, it is still Xbox Ultimate. It's just using the symbol. If you, it's a random thing because if you look at PlayStation, they're doing it as well. It's the PlayStation logo with PlayStation Studios, and Xbox Studios is the Wii logo.
Yeah.
So they're just using the logo instead
Yeah.
for whatever reason.
Yeah, but they nonetheless announced a whole gamut. I think another 20 something countries that they're releasing. They're going to be bringing xCloud to. So it's important that at some point in the very near future, Google also reciprocate by announcing similar. And of course, the big one that everybody's going after, India. I think it's a fairly safe bet to assume that Google will be coming their way as well, or not. I mean, do they have the infrastructure for India?
Both places have got the infrastructure, or if they don't, they're putting the money in.
Yeah.
Excuse me. With Google and Microsoft over the last number of months, they have been just targeting India. India is going to be the battleground to get everything out there, to start building cloud stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it's the perfect sort of storm place where it's loads of people, mobile phones, and that's their number one thing. So that's where they're going. So with this news, this news was expected, and I'm expecting Stadia to maybe start pushing up these wee announcements now because of all the xCloud news, and we may hear of our first more countries coming on board. And I think India is prime, and I would say probably Brazil as well. There's just the mood music. That's what I'm going to go with. It's going to be the two countries to be hit next for Stadia, and probably xCloud as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it was kind of always going to happen. The initial 14 countries were very carefully chosen, I'd suggest. And just having another look there at the list in front that we've got on your website. They're the original 14. Of course, they're all Europe except for America, and Canada. I beg your pardon. So there are no Asian countries there, no African countries. No Eastern European countries, so it'll be interesting to see those develop. But they are big territories that would be ignored at Google's peril, of course.
Yeah, like you said, I have to just word this right. The countries that are launched in will be safer sort of countries to launch in, where they know the infrastructure is going to be fine and it's ready to go. So yeah. The expansion is going to happen, and I think we're going to start just seeing it roll out now because everything is now coming to a head. And September, we're weeks now away from everything really cloud focused, just absolutely taking off, and it's just going to be really exciting going forward.
Exciting stuff. So then the very next day, which happened to be Monday, we had the Crater winners announced. Now this was a competition that they'd announced a while back. They made $25,000 available, and I think it's an ongoing thing every month for the most popular games, the most popular community created games. I don't know why I've taken you to that screen, because I've got a very special screen. Here it is. There we go. So the winners, interestingly enough, right at the very top of the list was our really good friend Bryant Chappell
Mhm.
from the Nerf Report, whose game The Floor Is Lava. Look, I'm going to have to be honest. I have been very remiss, and I haven't played any Crater at all since it launched because I've just got so many games and no time. But I know that it's been massively well received, and he did put a huge amount of effort in, and it's amazing. It's amazing to see Crater putting all that Unit 2 games, putting all this back into the community and encouraging interaction and engagement and getting, rewarding people. Number 2 was Escape Room from Matty OC, which is another. All of these are, I know, I've heard the names all over the shop. They're amazing games. And then number 3 was your boy Twiz. Bless his little socks. Your boy Twiz and his gang. Because it was definitely a shared achievement, Battle of the Sun, which was excellent, and Twiz is actually giving a chunk of that back. I think this weekend coming. So I know everyone that was involved in it is getting a big old chunk of it, and he's also giving some prizes away in the form of Google credit, I think, Google Play credit. So credit to him, to be fair. He's giving the whole lot away. So I think that's absolutely awesome. And this is, I think, what happens when you see an initiative like this one from Unit 2. Everybody just says, you know what? Let's just share it. Let's have some fun with this. So yeah, that's really good news, and a unique event as well. So great to see that kind of a thing happening. We had Take-Two's earning calls as well on the Monday. That was pretty cool, wasn't it?
Yep. It's just more just to calm nerves within the community. When now we know, just have to read these all off here. Uh, we were 95% sure that these were all coming down date, but we know it's in the report. NBA 2K21, WWE Battlegrounds, PGA Tour 2K21 are all coming day and date to Stadia, which means they come out at the same time as other platforms. So that's a big thing. Uh,
Yeah.
Take Two, massive supporter for Stadia. So we hopefully should see more games in coming up. Also, this can be our bit of breaking news, which didn't actually put onto the website. Do you want some breaking news or not breaking news?
Well, we love breaking news on this show, but I wish you'd tell me before so I can hype the heck out of it.
No, it's not actually mentioned in Stadia. But during
Oh,
I was really boring and listened to these investor calls. They're very keen to bring old games onto new systems. So I think that would also indicate that they're probably going to get some more titles from Take Two, and I think Bioshocks would be a big call for their coming onto the system.
oh
So,
wow.
I, which I which I would want just a remastered, get that on. I think that's a possibility because I'm pretty sure as well they've already worked with I think it's on Linux already, I believe, which it doesn't
So
automatically mean it comes to Stadia.
no, 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 no. I think you're right, and I would go a stretch further and say, given the age of BioShock, and I know it's had a couple of remixes and reboots, I wouldn't be surprised if that dropped as a pro game. It's just an amazing title anyway. Everybody loves it. Well, most people do. A lot of people may not have had a chance to play it. So I think if it drops as a pro game, that will be awesome. And I just suspect, given that it's quite way back in the old catalogue for Take Two, that that would be a nice Christmas present. Wink, wink.
Yep, I think a possible pro deal or free pro game for the Bioshock collection would be a good shout. Uh, Again, expanding the library out.
Yeah, 100%. So that's a huge amount to look forward to. And again, we're getting the big guys reinforcing their commitment to Stadia. It's almost like a rebound over the recent quiet, the sort of emptiness of that sort of tumbleweed floating down the streets. Nobody sort of going, now they're going, no, we really are committed. We're committed to everybody in the cloud gaming scene, but we are committed to Stadia as well. And I think that's important to just reinforce that, to be fair. So that's really cool news. Then on Tuesday, we had free to play weekend revealed. How funny. Of course, we know the previous week, our good friend Jem had not only forecast, well, not forecast, in fairness, he did the research, he did the digging, he found the dirt, he found the pay dirt. So not only did he state, prove, and demonstrate that we will be getting a free-to-play weekend, which is this coming weekend, but he was on the money because it will be Borderlands 3, which is exactly what he predicted as well. So that's awesome. Yeah, what a great game to have a free weekend of if you don't own it as well.
Yeah, this is going to be a big selling point for Stadia going forward. Free-to-play weekends are just going to be massive. It's you don't have to download the game. As soon as the game goes live, it's free to play, or the weekend starts, bang, done, dusted, you're in playing for the whole over the weekend. You don't have to wait. You don't have to do anything. You can just jump straight into this. This should be a massive selling point for Stadia, and they should be whipping up the hype for this starting tomorrow as soon as it goes
Yep.
live.
Tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific time. Do you know when that is, rest of the world?
6 o'clock.
6 hour time, BST?
No, five hour time, 5 hour time. Sorry.
5 p.m.
Yeah.
Woot woot. Just after tea.
We're 8 hours in advance, or 8 hours ahead.
Fantastic. So it's even more than a weekend. It's the whole of Thursday, the whole of Friday, Saturday, and then it ends quite late on Sunday.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's really good for us because we maybe get it a bit later, or we get it a bit later than America, but we actually get it.
Yeah.
It all evens out, sort of.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. No, it's amazing. It's 3.5 days of Borderlands 3. Is that enough to complete it, Duncan?
Depends how committed you are.
You'd have to really go for it, wouldn't you? It's no small game.
Yeah, but if you're just going out for the pure story and just going for it, yes, you'll be able to complete it in the weekend.
Yeah.
But if you're actually looking to actually play it proper, no, you've got loads and loads of time. What's really you need to be aware with Borderlands 3, this is me not being negative, it's just putting it out there. If you're playing in Chromecast, my recommendation is to drop it down to balanced, because you'll get 1080, but you'll get 60 FPS instead of the 4K and 30 FPS. It makes such a massive difference to Borderlands. It's not even close. When you're playing it on 4K, for me anyway, it feels a bit stuttery. But as soon as you drop it down,
1080.
It just feels proper.
Yeah, see, I've got a little bit of a confession. I've got to be honest. I've got to confess to the masses, mate. I do own it. I do have it. I bought it day and date on PlayStation, but I've only played it for about 10 hours. I just couldn't get into it. See, I love Borderlands 2. I absolutely loved it. Clive's the same. Clive, massive fan of Borderlands 2. Just couldn't get into 3. I kind of felt like it was too close to 2, but just kind of missed the point. But I know I'm a man in his, I know I'm a man. I could just stop at that point, really. But basically, I know I'm the only one that feels that way. Everybody else absolutely adores it. Moving swiftly on before I dig myself into any bigger hole than I've already dug, Relicta was also released the same day, t'other day. Have you had a chance to lick your Relicta?
Here's the confession. I had it bought ready to do a stream, a record of it.
Oh, okay.
I've got it all set up, and then just time got away from me. So I have actually just jumped into it. It looks absolutely amazing. Literally, I was just going in, making sure everything was working, but it looks amazing. And it's a nice wee puzzle game. And I think a lot of people seem to be enjoying it out there. So it's definitely worth checking out. So it's going to be like a first-person puzzle game. Think Portal, think the Turing Test, which we've already had on Stadia. I think that may still be a Stadia Pro game. I love the Turing Test.
Oh, I did too. Yeah, really good.
It's an easy game to get 100% achievements in if you're an achievement hunter, because you can just, if you miss anything, and there is a couple of missable things, you can just jump back to the chapter and go bang, or I'm going to do it now. But yeah, I'm definitely going to be checking this out more. And to big up him again there, Jen has already done a first look at this again.
Yeah, but don't keep giving him, mate. He gets more promotion on this show. When was the last time he promoted us on his show? Just give me the one instance. I've had enough of it. Sorry, Jem, get out. Go on, get out.
Let's show him the door.
Yeah. Right, $20 USD. 15 English pines, I believe,
Yeah.
give or take. Definitely one. That's the kind of game I love. I'm like you. I loved Turing. Me and Eddie finished it before I did, and then he watched me play. I did a little bit of streaming, and he was giving me help. It was brilliant. He was giving me little tips. But that is, it's absolutely superb.
And
And
I like the price point of that as well.
yes,
It's a nice price point. I don't think it's a long game from what I've been told, but so it's in the Goldilocks zone there where it's a nice price point for
yeah.
what you're going to get.
It's not a new game. It's an indie title, so for me that's about the right price.
It is a brand new game.
I beg your pudding. I thought it
Hmm.
was. I thought, wow, that's an excellent price. I'm buying it.
Yeah, brand new, just
Oh,
out. Same date. It was day and
wow.
date.
I need to do my research. Well, then we've got to do a rock review of this, my friend.
For the
Definitely.
pressure there to get
Not
that
this
done.
weekend. Definitely not this weekend. I'm not going to be around for a start. But then we also had a bit of crushing news on the same day, as we can see. Baldur's Gate 3 early access slipped out of August. That old octopus there pushed it right out.
Yep. Uh, to me, I'm not actually that bothered about this because they've been very clear from the very start that it was maybe coming in August, not 100% coming. What date is it? We're in the first week of August, and they've already said no, it's not coming. It's coming. We're going to tell you when it's coming in a couple of weeks. So I'm okay with this. Disappointed that it's not coming out in August, but the way they've done it all, I have no complaints.
No, but we don't. I mean, we don't know anyway. They are. There is a show coming up where they're going to reveal the actual launch date, isn't there?
There is indeed. Do you want to get some conspiracy theories going here on for a laugh?
Go on in. Go
Go
on.
on.
I love a little grassy knoll.
We'll say it's been pushed back to September because they're going to be bringing out the crowd choice features with it at the same time as Dead by Daylight, because that's going to be something which is coming with them. So maybe they're pushing it back so you can actually do that at the same time. There we go. There's a conspiracy
No, it's a
theory
good
going.
shout. It's a good shout because there was talk of it. Was it at? I thought they were going to do crowd choice when they did the last demo of the game. Did it not happen?
No, it
It
didn't. I
didn't.
think we all thought it was going to sort of maybe happen, but it didn't.
Yeah, because the man, I'm showing my ignorance here. If Chase was here, he'd be going, oh, and the guy's name, he knows everything about this game. Chase knows about this game. But I know that he did a thing in one of the connects where he said, and you'll be able to choose stuff. And we all went, oh, wow, it's going to happen. But it didn't.
No, we all
Yeah.
got caught up in that hype, thinking it was definitely going to happen, but no.
We don't do
But
things like that.
yeah, but there is my wee conspiracy is it's been pushed back because we're going to get some of the Stadia features when they go live in September,
Yeah.
100% live.
Yeah, I think it's a dang good shout, my good friend. And hello Ray's joined us. Ray agrees with you. He thinks that's a great shout as well. So yeah, I'm definitely up for that one. And then almost up to date as of today. Let me just get rid of Ray. Sorry, Ray. We had a couple of interesting things today. One was that Super Bomberman R was cleared for takeoff. So that's got its PEGI rating and everything ready to land.
Yeah, but that's got both its ratings now, so that is really good now. So that means it's basically they're ready to go just when the game's ready. That's lots of ready. But yeah,
Nothing wrong with being ready, my friend. That's what I always say. And then we had a really, really weird event happen earlier, wasn't it? We were all caught by this one. That's not him. It was
yeah.
that Stadia literally went down, and I thought initially, because it was for a few minutes, it was about 5 or 10 minutes, and I thought initially it was maybe just a local European data center, but Project Storm reported that it happened down in the States as well. So I don't know how that could possibly happen. I mean, I'm not massively technical, but I can't see how Stadia can literally go down when you think of all the reasons why. I suppose it could have been a DNS error. It could have been something really as simple as an issue with their domain name, I guess. But we had a 500 error. which I think is a server issue, isn't it? And everywhere, everybody had it on all devices as well, not just on the
Steve.
web, which is where
Yeah.
you'd expect a domain name issue to be. So I have no idea what happened there, and neither do the Stadia Twitter people, because I saw a couple of tweets and they said, "Look, engineers don't tell us anything. you know, we don't get told nothing at that level." But I'm glad it's back. Weird, and we've seen nothing at all. No official statement from Stadia saying why or apologising or anything.
Oh yeah, I think Grace has said bits and bobs
Okay.
on Reddit. I think that was recently. I think I've seen Stadia source maybe tweet about that as well. When I was eating my dinner. So basically, if anything goes down in the future, make sure I post about it, because as soon as I post about it on the website,
It comes
everything goes back.
back.
Yeah. I was sitting there debating, should I or shouldn't I do this? And I said, yeah, well, it's been down about 10, 15 minutes now. I'm going to do it. And literally within 2 minutes of me posting it, all the messages, oh, it's back up, it's
I
back
know,
up.
because I said to you, be careful, mate, because it might. The other day we had an instance where some people were reporting that there were too many people on the server, and there was a whole bunch of news around that. And it turned out that the fella had a VPN issue, so it was nothing at all to do with Stadia. So I said, "Look, just be careful. You don't want to get caught out on that one again."
But what I find funny about that one, even though I posted about that one, because it was the biggest article or the biggest Reddit post of the day, so it is news, even though it turned out to be a non-news story. The news about that was still that what the error message was: too many users. And other people have said, no, Stadia is never going to get that. It's in the code.
Yeah.
It is. Stadia will have it does have the chance of actually hitting that, and we've now
Yes.
discovered that 100% now.
Yes, that's true. We didn't know that before. We just assumed that they had this amazing redundant network, and they would be able to take all and sundry along. But clearly, there is the possibility of it happening.
Yeah, I do think Stadia's numbers are increasing a fair bit, because we are getting, I know for myself, and I've noticed on Reddit and Twitter, people are starting to get wee glitchy notices now more
Right.
often, where they can't get in, but then straight away after you can. So I think the numbers are maybe increasing a bit, which is good news for the platform.
Very, very interesting. Well, that was it. We're up to date. Nothing else. Nothing else. No breaking news, Duncan. That you can.
Not that I can see at the
No,
moment,
you-
unfortunately.
you're not bringing anything to help us out. That's fair enough.
Um,
So yeah, there you are. You're back again. Big Duncan and Little Rock. So we at this point last week we started a new section, Talking Point. I laid into Tim Sweeney, but we're going to be more positive this week, because you want to talk about your thoughts on the state of the nation as far as cloud gaming is concerned, and where you see it developing in the coming months.
Yeah, this has been a magnificent week for cloud gaming. No matter what way you want to, no matter what platform you're going for, we have now got the Microsoft news. The cat's out in its bag. It is coming 15th of September. I'm going to get that date wrong, but it's coming in September. It is coming with 100+ games. You're going to have it on Game Pass. You'll be able to play it on your Android devices. It's getting touch controls as well. Cloud gaming is in an excellent spot now, and gaming in general is in an excellent spot. This is just a starter of my tweet earlier in the week. We have, for £25 a month, or about $30, you can have access to Stadia, GeForce Now, Xbox Ultimate, and PlayStation Now for that a month. How many games will you have access to there? You're talking into the hundreds, and you're going to get a load of exclusive games there as well. Gaming is moving away from your tribal, I'm a Stadia person, I'm an Xbox person, I'm a PlayStation person, I'm a PC. You can play all the platforms all together for £25 a month, and you can get most of the games on
Yeah,
the big.
that's a very good point. It's a very good point. So that's a quarter of 12, isn't it? So that's what, £300 a year,
Mhm.
and you never have to own any hardware. And you can get access to more games than you can shake a large wooded forest at, let alone a small tree.
Exactly. It's just absolutely mad the money you can do. If £25 a month would be a lot of money to some people, which I
Of
totally get.
course, for most
But
people.
yeah, but you can actually narrow that down and just pick and choose which ones you want. I want to go for a blast. I want to play God of War. I can just pay for the PlayStation
Yeah,
subscription this month, and you can play that on PC. You, you want to pay your fee to play games, you pay £5 a month or $5 a month, and you can get GeForce Now, and you can play Fortnite. I was actually playing Fortnite there. It's just a test on GeForce Now, and it works absolutely fine.
mm,
You've just got so many options now, and cloud gaming is just going to absolutely take off now from September.
mm.
Everything is just going that way. Microsoft's pivoting that way. Stadia is 100% that way. It is just mad how it is going, and we're still to find out what PlayStation Now is going to be doing in the future. And we know they're upgrading their network to use Azure, which is Microsoft's platform. So they're going to be working together to try and get both of their services up
Yeah,
and
yeah.
going. It's just really really exciting how everything is going now.
No, it's a really good point. And I know we, a lot of people that watch this show, including myself, we've kind of thrown ourselves behind the whole Google Stadia bandwagon. But the reality is that we started from the premise of cloud gaming and that being the future. And it was by and large the big, the sort of the anti crowd were very much anti cloud gaming. It just happened at that point that only Stadia had launched and was public, and therefore was an easy target. But the reality is that cloud gaming is never going to happen. Couldn't possibly happen. And yet here we are, as you've rightly said, we're facing a future in the coming weeks. We're not talking about another year. We're talking about 8 weeks away. We're going to have Stadia with a ton of games, and all the new YouTube features and all the day and date stuff as well. We're going to have xCloud, which is going to be part of the Game Pass Ultimate, with launching with 100 titles. All of the Microsoft Studio titles are going to be on there, the Xbox Studio titles. We're going to have, in my estimation, a hugely beefed up and revamped version of PlayStation Now. My personal belief is that what we know as PS Now today ain't what's launching with the PS5 when that launches. I think there will be a massive relaunch, and I think that we'll all be very impressed with what they've done with it behind the scenes. So, across that array, you've got an amazing selection, and I know you're right, £25 a month is a lot of money, but if you're an avid gamer, you're probably spending twice that a month, or at least that every 2 months, on one single game title. So you can suddenly have access to all of those games, your proverbial Netflix. And of course, that's not even allowing for Amazon when they finally make their launch into the market, which is, by their estimation, sometime early next year. And who knows what they're coming with as well, whether it's going to be a similar offering or whether it's going to be more like a mobile cloud-based offering. We just don't know yet. So from purely the perspective of cloud gaming, the future looks absolutely stunning, doesn't it?
Absolutely stunning, and again, as you said, you don't have to subscribe to all these services. I'm just showing if you subscribe to all of them for £25 a month, just the amount of games, it's just going to be absolute madness. And when Amazon
Yeah.
enter the ring, it's going to be fun. That's going to be tied to Prime somehow, so you might be getting access to that for maybe free or with a slight increase on your Prime. It's just the mind boggles and how things are actually going to go forward.
Yeah.
I'm just really, really excited. Just to pick up some of the points in the chat here about Cyberpunk isn't coming day and date to Stadia, but it's coming day to date to GeForce Now, and you're going to get ray tracing on that. This is the thing. You need to get out from the mindset that it's going to be all.
Mm.
you're trapped to one platform. With cloud, you're not. You can go to absolutely all of them, and you can just sample away at everything you want under the sun. There's going to be a cloud gaming service for everybody, and you can just pick and choose.
Yeah.
You're not a Netflix fanboy. You're not an Amazon Prime or Amazon Instant Video fanboy. You just flick between whatever video services you want, and it's going to be the same for gaming.
And also, I'd add that even if the platforms themselves had any illusion of being a dominant player, the studios and the publishers have said, well, you know what? We're going cross-platform. We're going to go, there'll be no, as far as we're concerned, there'll be no walls. If you've got, a game on one platform, but you prefer to play it on another, you can still play with your friends and you can still progress. You can leap between them if you want to. So you can kind of see this future of just merging. And all it comes down to in the end is your own personal preference. Do I want a white controller? Do I want a black controller? What do I fancy doing? Now, you go around to your friend's house and they say, oh no, I've got Tempo, or whatever Amazon's going to be called, and they go, well, that's okay because Destiny works on that as well. So let's crack in and I'll bring my characters and we can play. That's the thing I'm looking forward to. It becomes far less about, oh, you've got an Xbox, well, I've got a PlayStation. Oh, you mean we can't play? No, I haven't. Oh, that just disappears, doesn't it?
It does indeed. So Stadia is going to be the best place to play for pure cloud gaming future going forward for the foreseeable future. They're going to have all the streaming tech into it, like your picture-in-picture, your Crowdplay, your crowd choice.
Yeah.
But what we're just saying is you don't have to be hammering away. I'm just going to be Stadia. The future is just going to be, it's not going to matter where you are. It's everybody can play together even across platforms, and even the games which are coming to Stadia, like Death by Chocolate, that is actually added in cross friends. So if you've got friends on other platforms, you can add them to your friends list for the game. So it is just, everything is just moving away from this mindset of having to be a fanboy or one console or one platform.
Yeah.
Or you're tied to.
But the good news as well is that it's not a case of cutting off hardware at all. For example, if you've got a PC, then you can already access both Xbox and PlayStation games on your PC. And of course, Stadia, because all you need is a browser, doesn't matter where you are. So already you're cross-platform if you've got a PC. All this really does is it just makes the boundaries even less. As for next generation consoles, well, they're going to be around for at least 3 or 4 or 5 years. They ain't going nowhere for the foreseeable future because they've got to recoup their investment. But certainly in the future, I can see whatever device you want to fire it up on is entirely up to you. But the point is, no matter what device, you've got access to your favorite game, which you can play with your favorite friends.
Yeah, platforms are just going away. They may go away slow or go away fast, but everything is just moving towards you can play on everything at all.
Yeah.
I was going to mention it. We've got a question in the chat here about what's our take on Spider-Man being PlayStation exclusive. Just to add into this is a bit of news as well. Spider-Man is going to be the only character which is going to be exclusive. There's going to be no other game or no other characters which are going to be exclusive to knock it out platform. So what do you think about Spider-Man being exclusive to PlayStation?
I don't care. No, I'm not. Look, I'm not invested in that. You know me. I couldn't give 2 flipping penny coins for any of your superheroes. If that's your thing and it upsets you that it's going to be on a platform, then welcome to the world of cloud gaming. Because sooner or later, that won't be an issue. This is the whole point. This is what we've just been discussing. I'm sure it upsets some people, but it's a guy swinging about, mate. There's plenty of games that do that right now, aren't there? All right, he may not be your favourite web swinger, and he may not have the cutest butt, But there's plenty of characters swinging about the place. Just find a different game.
Yeah. Yeah, my take on it is going to be slightly different to what we've been talking about. This is just showing you that exclusive matter to actually get people onto your platform. That's why there's been such a kickoff of this. Spider-Man is really, really popular. I hate these sort of exclusivity deals because it just riles people up, and that doesn't matter if it's Stadia. And Stadia is actually doing one of these as well, but we don't talk about that in Serious Sam. They've actually paid to keep that off all their platforms because it's going to Xbox and PlayStation. They're paying for the exclusivity, and it's not actually to help development of the game. It doesn't seem. It just looks like it's a delaying tactic. Every single platform does this. And
I know I can't play Master Chief on my Nintendo Switch. I'm absolutely gutted.
yeah. See, this is what's going to differentiate the cloud platforms going forward, is the exclusives. Just like there's exclusives on Netflix, and there's exclusives on Amazon Prime, and there's exclusives on what's the other Americans type ones. And there's Hulu and all that sort of carry on.
Yeah.
There's always going to be,
Of course.
and that's what entices you to go into that platform. But it's always going to be there, even when we go platform agnostic.
I think that's a really good analogy to bring up the different streaming TV or streaming video services, like you've said. We don't have a lot of them in the UK, and we've got Disney, we've got Sky and Netflix and Amazon pretty much. Whereas I know in the States, as you rightly said, they've got Hulu, they've got a new game one that's coming back soon. There's maybe several, and a lot of people have at least 3 or 4 of those, and they'll often say, oh yeah, did you see Walking Dead last night on that particular channel, on that particular streaming service? And nobody goes, no, I can't, I'm committed to Netflix and they don't have it. It doesn't work that way, does it? And I think as well, we'll see a more consistent price point across all of these platforms soon as well. I think at the moment they're all testing different price points. Price elasticity, it's called in marketing. So they're checking out to see what the market will bear. And I suspect that over time we'll see it only takes one outrider to come in and go, well, we'll do it for $5 a month. And then the others go, oh, somehow we've got to compete and find a way to do this. And then you get your different tiers, of course. And the other point is that Stadia still is free at its very base form. And the others aren't currently. So, that's a thing worth bearing in mind. But yeah, I like to look at it from the perspective of it's just a gamut of choice. And you're not restricted to one as you were. If you bought hardware, it's a fairly hefty investment for most of us, $500-$600 plus games. You've got $1,000 investment. You're not going to suddenly go out and buy another box and more games, unless you're really a collector. But you can do that with cloud because there is no investment. Chase, who's in tonight, great to see you, mate. He coined the term console for life. Is absolutely right. We've just got to get out of the mindset of thinking about hardware-based platforms and think instead about where do I want to play my games this week.
Exactly. It's exactly that. And this doesn't mean exclusives are going away and exclusive content is going away. What it means is you won't be tied to actually having to go out and buy the PlayStation 5 to access that content. You'll be able to stream it on PlayStation Now instead. Obviously, that's not going to happen now. You have to put that point out there. But in the future, that's the way it's going to work. Stadia is going to get exclusive content for Destiny 2. So you're going to go, should I play Destiny 2 on Stadia now, or should I stick with this? Because it's just going to give you the choice to actually choose instead of actually having to work out the massive money. So exclusives are still going to happen, but you won't have to buy the hardware to move across.
I'm just gutted, mate, because I was really looking forward to playing Marvel Avengers. Because I wanted to be Iron Man, but Chase has already Begsied Iron Man, so I can't have it now. There's absolutely no point in me buying the darn game if I can't be Iron Man. So I'm not having it. I'm not buying it. Simple.
Yeah, and maybe a tip for people who have got a PlayStation: remember, if you pre-order on Amazon, you can cancel your pre-order.
Oh, can you?
Yes. So if you've got a PlayStation and if you pre-order the game, you may get a beta code, and then you can maybe cancel your beta
What?
code, or so that is maybe something you can do,
Why do
or
you
you can
want?
just
Why do you want to do that? Sorry, what have I missed?
sorry, you get into the beta this weekend instead
Oh,
of
I
waiting.
see. Right. I was like, why would I buy it and cancel it?
Yep. And again, this is something which Stadia, I hope, will look to in the future. And we've already started seeing the signs of it with Borderlands 3. The free beta weekends could be absolutely bananas on Stadia if they allowed it, because you would get a load of people even just trying the platform just to play the game.
It will come, my friend. It will come. We know one week at a time. Rome wasn't built in a day, and all that malarkey. It'll all come. Right. I think that's just about it for this week. Before we wrap up, we just need to unless you missed it at the very beginning of the show, next week I am going to be taking some R&R, so I'm going to be away. We won't therefore be having our regular show, but we'll be putting something up. So there will be something, a little premiere or something that you can watch. But I should be back for Sunday's Stadia Rocks. And but I won't be here for this Sunday's Stadia Rocks. No, I will be. It's Monday. I'm off. Yes. Anyway, it's all confusing. If you think it's confusing for you, imagine what it's like at my age. Hope you've enjoyed the show. Look, it's midweek, and that means we've still got a few more days of Stadia news to come. Pick it up at the weekend. And thank you very much, as always, chat, for spending your time here this evening. It's very much appreciated. Duncan, thank you very much, my friend, for bringing all your knowledge and wisdom. What are you
And
pointing your glasses out for?
because that's what you thought my haircut was.
Oh, you got some new glasses.
That's what it was.
Look at that. Yeah, but
Yeah, extra.
are they virtual ones? Can you sort of like got laser vision and stuff through them?
No, I
Oh.
don't. So that's what you thought my haircut was my new glasses.
I see. It's all subtle stuff, mate, isn't it? It's
Yes.
impressive. Thank you for watching. Where can they find you, my friend?
They can find me at cloudywithachanceofgames.com, and you can also find me at Wonderscape or at Cloudy with Games on Twitter.
Fantastic.
And I want to thank everybody for joining us as well.
Yes, absolute pleasure. Thank you, guys. Thank you for watching, and good night. Rock out.